hello. Hello. I'm back. I'm back at it. I'm back. I'm back. Let me close all of this. Yeah, I just created a new thumbnail. Yeah, for this video, for this live, and yeah, let's just move on to where we left up this morning. So using the text to render by inside the div containers, right? We got this.
And let's move on.
Right. Let's go to the next one. More in the HTML practice.
Okay, let's continue on with our e-commerce website.
E-commerce.
You want to thank the user after she's made a purchase. That's a nice thing to do. So what we want to do is that when the user has clicked the button, we are to render a paragraph under the button, but still inside of the same container. So this container right here, in which the button is rendered inside of. And the paragraph should say, "Thank you for buying." So I'm going to help you a little bit on the way here by creating an on-click event listener inside of the button that will try to invoke a function called buy when the button is clicked. So your job then is, of course, to create that buy function, have it render a paragraph inside of this container using .inner.html so that the user is thanked. And
wait, inside the containers. All right. So we do function render paragraph under the buttons in the containers. All right. Right. So function, we call this by, and then we close bracket, curly brace, containers dot in the text in the HTML equal to open bracket. This is like, I'm not sure if this is like the way that the industry use, but to me it's a little bit more confusing, especially with new, but I think overall after time is going to be way I'm not sure if it's gonna be faster if you include the function in the HTML file. Not sure. Thanks for buying. Right, this, thanks for buying. We close all of this. Yes, let's run this. Click buy. Thanks for buying. There we go. This is pretty easy.
One thing, we don't want to remove the button when you render this paragraph.
You don't want to remove the buttons. So do I do plus run? Yeah, easy.
It should be under the button. So go ahead and give this your best shot right now.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Chat.
Okay, let's do this.
Unable to connect to chat.
Buy.
Please try again.
And then inside of the body of the function, we need to target the container yet again. Container and its inner HTML. However, put out the button. Great job.
Okay, we go back into the Chrome extension.
Okay, we are back at our Chrome extension app, and now your job is to do exactly what I did a few casts ago. I replaced the text content with the inner HTML so that we could render proper li tags instead of just plain text inside of our unordered list. That is this element right here. So go ahead and...
Yes, this is going to be in the HTML. And then we go with plus equal, wrap all of this inside a li, but then we have to open bracket li this, and then close it, li, and then we do this. We run this. Yes. Wait. Do I do this? Try this. My leads. Yeah, I still get this. And then we do an li tag. Li replace the text content with the inner HTML use li tag. Li. We close this and we slash li. And then if I close all of this inside a bracket, inside a double quotation mark, it's not going to print out this, but instead it's going to print out my leads. Unexpected tokens. See, this is a string, so we go. Cannot be list, so it's plus. What is it called? We keep it const. Can I write const? So it cannot be changed. Ooh la la. No, it's a string. No, it's a string. So. Let's try this. If it works, it works. Plus. And then plus. Try this. Yes! Bada bing, bada boom, baby. Here we go again. Boom! Got it, we got it. It's not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth stream as such. Oh man, what happened to my... It's always happened.
Use your freshly acquired knowledge about inner to have this, that is, figured out exactly how we want them. Let's move on.
Yeah. So we got it. We got it. And then let's go to the next
Now that
exercise.
you finally managed to work with inner HTML, I'm going to be a little bit annoying and teach you an alternative way of solving this that doesn't use inner HTML. Because while I prefer to make a lot of the choices for you as to which technologies you should use to build apps, especially as a beginner, in this case, it makes sense that you learn it in two different ways, even though we're only going to proceed with one way in this app, and that is the .innerHTML. But you will see this other method being used both in Scrimba's front-end developer career path and out in the world. So I'm going to teach it to you. The way to understand it is to break this line of code into 3 steps. Because let's have a look at what's actually happening here. So first, we are kind of creating the li element. So create element, and then we are setting the text content of that element. Finally,
Set text
we are
content.
taking that expression and kind of appending it to the unordered list. Because appending means to add something at the end of a document. So append to unordered list. So with this, we have the pseudocode for our solution. Let's now comment out the original way of doing it, and then write out the new way. So the first thing we need to do, create the element. That is done by document.create element.
Create elements.
It looks almost like these document.getElement by ID here. However, now we are creating something, not fetching. And what are we creating? Well, whatever we place inside of the parentheses. Naturally, in our case, this would be an li element. And this is how we specify it. We don't need to wrap it in these HTML tag symbols. Now we have created the list element, so we need to store it in a variable. I'm going to use const li. And next up, we got to set the text content. We'll do
Wait, go
this would be
here.
an li element. And this is how we specify it. We don't need to wrap it in these HTML tag symbols.
All right.
Now we have created the list element, so we need to store it in a variable. I'm going to use const li. And next up, we got to set the text content. We'll do li dot text.
Oh, that text content.
My leads I. Okay, final step. Appending it to the UL element. Well, then we'll do UL dot append. And what do you think will append? Well,
li.
li, of course. We'll take this. Pass
All
it in
right.
there.
Not that hard.
If I run this code, you can see it works. However, in my opinion, this is easier to understand intuitively than these 3 lines. Because here we get to see at least the HTML element in a more humanly readable way. But
Okay.
you will come across this method as well. So now what I want you to do is basically do the same thing as I did. Try to make this work with the new method and with this line of code, comment it out. And if you need help, you can use this pseudocode to Google your way to the solution, or you can of course go back and watch how I did it. But after you've done it, I'm not going to go through it again because I've already done it.
All right. We will do this long way. Let's see. Li. We have to state it const li equal document dot get create elements. Then we open do this, we call li, yes, a list, an order list, and then we do li dot text content equal to my lead Cyrus, and then we do set text content. All right, so this is supposed to be in here. Then we delete this and we append ul dot append, and then we do open this, and then we do li. Let's try ul l. Alright, yep, we append this list thingy into the ul. Alright, let's see append Javascript. Append method will insert DOM string object as text note. Note that DOM string is a UTF whatever. Yeah, let's do Mozilla. It is way easier to understand. Insert a note after the last child. Okay, so just the last child. So if there's the list has already, if the list already has like values like this, if append if you append instead of ULL, you call my leads, and then you append something in here. It's gonna go at the end, right? At the end. Try it. Let's actually try it. Okay, my leads. My lead dot append, and then we append. What do we append? Call this www.google.com. Right, let's see. Now we print out console log. My leads. Let's try this. See what happens. My leads dot append is not a function of an element. Oh, so it can only be elements. This is only in the DOM. So HTML. Alright. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Yeah, if I don't try this, I wouldn't know. So let's run this. And then we keep going.
Exact ML method here from the.
I think the what is it called? I think if we want to manipulate string, you need to do push and pull, push and pop, and then shift and then shift, right? Yeah.
Next cast and work a little bit on the performance of our solution. So give this a shot right now, and then I'll see you in the next cast.
Yeah, see you. I'm already here. I'm already here.
Now it's time to improve the performance of our rendering by first creating a variable list items to hold all of the HTML, then concatenating the HTML elements onto that variable so that you, after the loop has finished, can render all of them in one go. So just to go through this is a 3-part challenge where you first create the empty variable, which you should call list items, and that should eventually hold all of the HTML for the list items. But to begin with, you are going to assign it to an empty string. Then inside of the for loop, instead of manipulating the DOM every single time the loop runs, in every iteration of the loop, you're going to rather add the item, this one right here, to the list items variable, instead of using the inner HTML on the unordered list itself. And then finally, after the for loop has completed, then you can take the list items, which now contain all of the HTML you need, then render it inside the unordered list using inner HTML. So this way, we'll make our code more performant and faster. So go ahead and give this a shot right now.
What the hell? Assign it to an empty string to begin with. Alright. List item. Let list item equal to an empty string, right? To hold all the HTML for the list item, right? And then add the item to the list item as add the items. List item is equal to my leads. Yes. Let's do this. And then this list item plus equal add the items to the list items instead of the ULL dot inner HTML. What does it mean? Add the items. Which item? To the list item. render the list item inside. Render the list item inside the unordered list using what the hell? So basically you just do this and then we call render UL. We close this, the slash UL, and then UL. We plus this. We do this, and then this. Alright, and then we plus this list item. Plus this. Am I right? What the hell? This is probably wrong. I don't understand this. Why would you need this? Assign it to an empty string to begin with. String, yeah, so this is right. And then add the item to the list item variable instead of the unordered list. Oh, so it's like this, right?
After use and his here should contain all of the edits. Run the code, and as you can see, we get the exact same result.
Oh, so you just do this. Wow. the instruction actually sounds so over complicated. So yeah, I was right. Run this. It's basically just to make the just to be more specific with this.
Meaning that it works.
It's alright.
If you're still a little bit confused of what's going on here, I would recommend you to, for example, console log out the value of list items so that you get to see what the value of that string is in every iteration throughout the if it has a cost, you'd prefer to do it one time, then 3 times. So just remember that DOM manipulation has a cost, and look at your code in the light of that. Now finally, if you are a bit confused of what's really wanted outside of the loop, value of list items, so that you get to see what the value of that string is in every iteration throughout the loop. And once you feel you have a good grasp of this, we'll move on to the next lesson. If you find yourself struggling to remember as to whether or not the performant way was to do .inner HTML inside of the loop or outside of the loop, you can remember this sentence. DOM manipulation comes with a cost. And with that, you can ask, well, if it comes with a cost, is it best to manipulate the DOM, namely using inner HTML, 3 times inside of the for loop? Or is it best to just do it 1 time outside of the for loop? Well,
it's probably because it takes a lot of resource to run the inner HTML inside a loop, because it's like okay, I see. Now I see why. I was confused. Why wouldn't you just write it right here, and then make the make the text much more simple?
1 time, then 3 times. So just remember that DOM manipulation has a cost, and look at your code in the light of that.
Yeah.
Now finally, if you are a bit confused of what's really going on under the hood with this string that we are constructing by running through our loop, what you can do is log out list items down here under line 16 just to inspect how it looks in every iteration of the loop. So feel free to jump in and do that right now, and when you are ready, I will see you in the next lesson.
Yeah, let's move on to the next lesson. Create the render function. We are speeding through all of this. How many lessons do we have left? A bunch more. So yeah, let's speed it up.
Okay, now that we have many of the pieces of our app working, let's stitch them together so that when a user enters a lead and hits the save input button, it'll actually be rendered out, opposed to us having to actually add the dummy data from the get-go, hard coding it here on line 1. So I'm gonna remove these lines, and your job is split into two. First, you are to wrap the code below, that is from line 13 to 17, in a render leads function, and then you are to call render leads function inside of the event handler for the button clicks. And I'm going to remove this console log right here to make it a bit cleaner. So just to talk through the logic here, what will happen is that when the user adds something into the input field and hits the save input, this epic lead, as you know, will be pushed to the myLeads array. And then if we call the render leads and have this wrapped inside of that render leads function, it should, according to our plan, render out whatever items there are inside of the myLeads array. Which would be much better than what we have now, where simply I can hit the save input as much as I want, but nothing happens. My lead just stays in the input field. Not good. So go ahead and try to knock this one out.
Let's try and knock this one out, like Mike Tyson. But first, wrap the code below in a render leads function. So yes, we do this, and then we call function renders leads, open, and then we do boop. And here we close bracket, and we return this list item. So pretty easy. Then we go here and we do call the renders lead function. Yeah. So input button add event listeners. So when you click this, is basically run myLead.push input element, input all dot values, input all dot values, myLead.push input dot our value. So basically what is written in here is going to get document get input ID. Yeah, so what is written in here will be pushed into the myLeads. Input buttons, save input. Let's see input here, right here. So what is written in here will be pushed into myLeads. So the element here is this type thingy, www.chrome.google.com, and then we click here. Oh, and then we have this gonna get pushed into this list, an array. And then when you do that, yep, it's also next one is render leads. So function render lead is going to list item is equal to 0. Then we loop through myLead.length, and then we do list item plus equal, and then we return it to a list item. We return it in the UL. Yep. Pretty okay. Now I got it. Let's do www. Copy this. Right? We put this here. Okay. We go here. We push it here. And then it works. Perfect.
This looks like a functional prototype. You should be
clear the input field. Yeah, this is what I was like, I can see how it can improve.
So, while our app now works, it has a little bit of a usability issue. Because if I now try to add a lead here and hit save, you can see
Yeah,
it is
it doesn't
indeed
delete.
saved, but it still persists in the input field as well. Most likely, we'd want to clear out this input field. So that is what I now want you to do here on line 8, clear out the input field, though I haven't told you how to do that. And that is intentional, because now I want you to Google it. And even better, I want you to try to figure out on your own what you want to write into Google to try to solve this issue. So I'm not going to give
Clear input value. Clear input value. JavaScript. Let's try this. How to clear input field. Try it myself. Input blah blah blah. Buttons. Clear input. Clear input field on focus. What does this mean? On focus. What is on focus? With the buttons, I don't need that. Oh yes, yes, baby, this is here. Clear input field after submit using JavaScript. Add a click event listener to a buttons. When a button is clicked, set the input field value to an empty string. Right. So right here is going to be is render out, is print onto this. Now we want to set the values input L dot values equal to nothing. Try and run this. www.google.com. Yes, we got it, baby. We got it.
give you the text you are to paste into Google. This will clear the input field.
Oh.
Hopefully.
Oh, no. Should be right under here. After you render out www.chrome.google.com, you click this. Yes.
That went well. If not, overflow question. Most of it for the line in the middle here that says target.value equals an empty string. That's interesting. That looks like something we can use. So here, perhaps we can do input L.value and set that to an empty string. Input L.value equals like that. From the code, we'll do
you do it in front.
.com, save input, and indeed, it worked. So, great job. Let's move on.
I thought it was gonna overwrite and then turn everything down here into nothing. Interesting. But let's keep
now our
going.
job is to make our leads list clickable, because as you can see here on the LI item over in the browser, this is just plain text, whereas we want it to be a link, so that after a sales representative has gathered all of the leads, she can click and check them out again at a later stage if she wants to. So in order to do that, we need to wrap the lead in an anchor tag, that's the A tag, inside of the list item. You need to change this expression here so that my leads is also wrapped in an anchor tag. And then you need to use the href attribute to point to the specific URL, which is the same as the text you are rendering out. And I also want you to make the link open in a new tab. And if you don't remember how to do that, it's super easy to forget. You'll just have to Google it out and figure it out on your own. So go ahead.
Wrap the lead in an anchor function. So here inside D. All right. We do this, and then A plus this. Let's try this. I think it will work. This, and then we plus this. Yeah, let's try it. Slash, close it. So we do www.google.com. Save input. Nothing happens. Or do I do this? Yes. Try this. Run. www.google.com. Aya, kilo de. Dun, 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 dun. How to add link in HTML. href URL. href do 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 the hero do 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 equal URL. Yes and yes. Wait, why is it not working? Hello? Come on. URL. How to insert a link in an HTML, guys. Clickable link. Why does this take so long? Hyperlinks. URL. Yeah. It doesn't work here. The hell? Unexpected identifiers. Not href. Not href. What? No, I was right. If you do href, it's going to directly lead you to let's try href equal this, and then my leads inside here should be wrong. Yeah, cannot do that. Da 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 da. How to make link open? How to make link open in new tab? Target blank. Alright, run. We do www.google.com. It doesn't load. Doesn't load.
And knock this one out, then return this to get so side. And
hash.
we'll set the
Hash.
href now just to this hashtag symbol right here.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
close the anchor tag on this side.
Hashtag symbols. Hashtag symbols. Hashtag in HTML. Jesus, I forgot this. Where's the hashtag? Hashtag, where are you at? Hashtag, where are you at? Hey, hashtag, I can't find you. Where's hashtag? Hashtag mean all, right? Yeah, no shit, I was wrong here. Delete. Go here. href is equal to hashtag. Run. Invalid. What do you mean? What do you mean?
href now just to this hashtag symbol right here.
Oh my god. I have to do this. Hashtag.
I'm going to close the anchor tag on this side. If we run the code, to add some lead to the input and save it, there we indeed can see that we get the default link styling. So our link works. Now at this point you might wonder, well, why am I using single to tell located? We need a string, we'll quote yet again to start this string right here. Of course, then this hashtag now serves no purpose. It's just an invalid character in JavaScript. We need to replace that with the myLeads. So you can remove this space right here and with the myLeads because it's going to point to that URL as well. How do we do that? Well, now we actually need to close off the string before the hashtag because we're going to add a JavaScript variable. So then we will add the double quote, a plus sign, and then a plus again, and then a double quote yet again to start this string right here. Of course, then this hashtag now serves no purpose. It's just an invalid character in JavaScript. We need to replace that with the myLeads. So you can remove this space right here. Now, if we actually console log out the list items, you run the code and try to save an input as well, again, then you can see we are getting an expression which looks like valid HTML. One more thing we need to do is make the link open in a new tab, and I told you to Google that, so let's just do that as well. In order to quote, do we need to use this is properly? Now we have all of this, and it works. However, this string is really long and ugly in my opinion. It's a complicated expression. And I would like us to simplify it and avoid using these mix of single and double quotes and all of these plus signs. And maybe we also want to write this expression on multiple lines as you normally do in HTML. However, that won't work. As you can see, it breaks our entire code in syntax highlighting, seen by the fact that the syntax highlighting is completely off at this point. So in the next cast, I'm going to teach you about template strings, which will solve exactly that. So just stay tuned and I'll see you there.
Was it template string? All right. I'm getting confused because we are getting to like the part.
Expression a lot simpler. We'll use what's called template strings. And to make it super clear for you, the benefit of template strings, I'm actually going to comment out this current string and then on a new line create the template string so that you can compare the two. And the way you turn a normal string into a template string is by replacing the quotes that wrap the string with backticks instead. So let's do that and pay attention to what happens with the syntax highlighting of my leads and the plus operators when we do that. I'm going to do that and that. As you can see, it all just became blue. So now this is no longer a JavaScript expression. It's just a string. But we are of course going to fix that after we've looked at the first huge benefit with template strings, which is that you can break it into multiple lines. Something we couldn't do with a normal double quote string up here. So this gives us the opportunity to write our HTML, much like our HTML looks like in an HTML file, like this. This is a much easier expression for us humans to parse than this one up here. Now we have that, it's time to take these sections here, which previously rendered out the leads, but now just are plain strings, and simply delete them and replace them with a $sign, opening close curly brackets. Then passing in whatever JavaScript expression we want inside there. This is how you kind of escape out of the string and shove a JavaScript expression into the string. In my opinion, much easier than what we had here with the quote, plus, then the expression, then another plus, then a quote. Simply replace all that with this. And now if you want to go even further, we can add the contents of the anchor tag in a new line so that we get this really nicely formatted expression. It looks just like we would write it.
Doesn't look that bad at all. Now, yeah, before this, it was quite confusing, but now, when it's break down into line like this, simple, baby stuff, baby.
In the HTML
it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Run this code, save the input, it works just as it did previously. Now we have removed all of the ugly pluses, all of this wrestling we had to do between single quotes and double quotes and make sure that we used each of them in proper order. Here we can do whatever we want. We can even replace this here with a double quote and use single quotes there. Well, that's not a good practice. This just shows the power of the template string. But now I've been writing code for far too long. The point here is that you should write the code. That's what Scrimba is all about. So over the next few lessons, you are going to get your hands dirty with template strings.
Template string. Right. See, when you do stuff like this, you actually remember.
Now you are going to practice template strings, or template literals, as people also call it. I prefer template strings though, as that's just an easier expression. Your job is to take this string, which is a concatenation of two hard-coded strings and a variable, and turn it into a template string. I'm console logging it down here on line 8 so that you can see results. If we run it, you can see that it says, "Hey James, how's it going? Chairs pair." So go ahead and change this from a standard double quote string into a template string. And then of course I will show you the solution when you are done.
Wait. I'm quite confused. Template string.
So in order to wrestling we had to do between single quotes and double quotes and make sure that we used each of them in proper order, here we can do template string. But
right, and then the heck? Here, input field, make the template string even more dynamic. Write my first template string. Const email refractor the email string to use template string. Call this email. Have to change it to this const emails equal this. What do we call here? Paragraph. Do hey plus this is hash recipient. How do I break out this? Oh la 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 la. Opening a new tab. I wanna watch that again. Oh la la. This is
Now I've
Why does it be like this? Open. Dun, 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 dun. You do paragraph. No, this, and then paragraph P. Right? This is confusing for the sake of this. P and then P slash P slash P. Close this. This. Hey. Come on. Hey. And then oh boy. Hey. Oh shit. This is killing me. Hey. And then hash, right? Recipient. Sheesh. It's not like this. Plus another. Nah, it's not like that. It's a string plus a $ recipient plus another paragraph. Hey. And then we go here and we do this is not a link, cannot be a link. It's recipients hash recipient and then another paragraph slash P I have to see this again. Call this type here. How's it going? All of this we delete. Doesn't look like it's right, but hey. Refractor and determines. Refractor the email string to use. Template string 6. I'm clueless.
With a backtick and we want James to be bin recipient. Run this. All of this clutter, all of these plus when you are done. Last double quote with a backtick. Then the entire thing is a string. So now if we run this, it'll say, hey, plus recipient, how's it going? Obviously not what we want. We want James to be logged out as well. So we can remove all of this clutter, all of these plus quotes, and do $, open and close curly brackets.
That is how it's supposed to do. Hey, yeah. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. Stupid. So what we can do with this is that we can remove all of it. Get up here, and then we do this, and then we do. We don't need plus. And then we do. And then we do 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 do. It has to be wrapped in a curly brackets. Why it doesn't? Huh?
And then type in recipient.
This is what I did. Why my $sign doesn't show? Huh? Huh? Oh la la.
If we run this, it'll say, hey, you are done.
$sign?
$sign?
Exactly. This is what I did. Hey, come on. Get out. Now it works. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Now it works. Now it works. Yeah. What's my note here? It doesn't work. Try redo this. So we do what this? What did you write? How did you write that? What is this called? You write it the. How do you write that? How do you do template string? Oh, it's this buttons. It's not the single quotation mark. It's this button right here. Got it, got it. That's why it doesn't work for me. On my keyboard, it is this buttons. This. Can you guys see it? Yes, this buttons. It's not this, but this is this. Yep. Now I got it. It makes me fuming. Hash this. And then we do recipient. Rerun this. Yes. Finally. See, if you don't figure it out yourself, if I don't run into all of this problem, this stupid problem, I wouldn't know how to do this. Let's save this, delete that shit. Jesus.
Let's make our email variable even more dynamic so that it also can take a sender value, which is the person sending the email. So you are to create a new variable and call it sender and set its value to your name. Then in the email template string, you are to use your sender variable instead of pair.
Okay. Now I can figure. Now I can do this easily. Send this. Const senders equal. This is tone. What happened to my keyboard? Why is it not staying straight? Use your sender variable instead of pair. Cheers. $. Open this. Close this. Send this. Easy now. Now it's easy.
You're going out.
Yes. Template string on multiple lines. Jesus. I will take a water break. Shit. Kobe. Right. I'm refreshed.
Big benefit with template strings is that you can break them into multiple lines, which is really handy. For example, in our email case here, you'd most likely want to write this on multiple lines, like have the hey in one line and have the text in one line and then the shares in the final line. And this is possible, unlike with regular strings, like we're using here for my name. To prove that, let's actually try to break this into another line. What you see here is that we get these red underlines and the syntax highlighting has been completely broken. And if we try to run this, you'll see that we get a syntax error. So obviously not something we can do. You have to get it back on one line. But for our template strings, it will work, and that is the challenge as well. I want you to break the email string into multiple lines, however you think it makes sense to do that. Then you are to run the code to see that it works. However, there's a gotcha here, which is that in the Scrimba console, you will only see one line regardless of how many lines the string actually consists. Here is an example where I created this random string, which is on 3 different lines. You can see that in the Scrimba console, we're logging it out on a single line. Whereas in the DevTools, which I've opened here, in the console that lives in the DevTools, is indeed logged out over 3 lines. So this is a quirk with the Scrimba console. It's not as robust as the Chrome console, basically. So for this challenge, you'll have to open up the original browser console in order to verify that you've done it correctly. And if you don't know how to open the developer tools, I will show you now. When you're in the scrim, move your cursor up to the header area of the scrim, then right click so that you open this menu, click on inspect, that'll open up the developer tools. Move your cursor up slightly different, so string into multiple lines.
Alright. How's it going? Do this. We do this. And we do cheers. Cheers, mate. Cheers. Yep. Now we go into inspectors. Inspector. We go into the console. Hey. Yep. And we are good. We are good. We are good. We are good. Let's keep going.
Log it out and then open the console to verify that you've done it. See it. Run the code.
Yes. Refactor the app to use template string.
Okay, we are back at our Chrome extension app, and now you are going to do the same thing I did before we went on our little tangent about template strings. Which is to take this list items and turn the string here into a template string, so that you can get rid of all of these pluses, all of these double quotes, and also break it into multiple lines if you want. So go ahead and do that right now.
Right. So you want to delete all of this. Break this into line. Go this. You want it to be break this as well. Oh, this might stay. This is the inside a tag. Break this here. Break this. Break this. Break this. Break this. Break this. And then we do this. Hả?
Đã kim cương rồi lên kim cương 4 rồi.
Yeah.
Gánh sấp mặt mấy hàng trường đi chụp mình. Bị cánh tóc, em cứ vẫn đi, không quan tâm bọn kia nói gì. Là phải gánh bọn nó sấp mặt luôn.
Yeah. My leads has to be, this is hashtag. Open this and then close this. Do I have to plus here? Yeah, let's run Google run www.google.com. Yes. google.com, it's display, right?
Filter tag. Put this on a new line, and here we still have these funky plus signs. I'll remove all of those.
Oh, forgot about this. Oh shit, it doesn't load because this is supposed to be this, and then boop, we run this, page not found. What?
Grab the JavaScript expression here, a $sign, and the bracket like that. Then really, that still works exactly how.
Huh? Why I do the same things and it never works? But he do the same thing, it works. What is it?
Here, well, like that. You can break this into get.
Page not found. Jesus. I did the same things. Target blank. Right? Try and compare this. The same things. Here, here. Why it doesn't load? Why it doesn't load? href. So da 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 da. It's basically the same, but it doesn't load. Hey yeah. Copy this. Doesn't load. Come on. Come on. You don't have to be like this.
Yet another line, so now it looks much better. And if we run this,
Huh? What? What? Huh? Why is it not found? I basically do the same thing. Oh man. To www.google.com. Page not found. But then when I go back to here, it doesn't show anything. Hey. Come on. Alright, we will do all of this again. Let's see what would happen. Call this. No, not this. It's supposed to be this. It's probably a bug here. Let's delete this. Yeah. It's bug here. Yeah.
So let's move on.
Alright, started this. We will keep it for tonight. Yeah, let's keep this for tonight, right?